Audio Jungle. Hello and welcome to another edition of Mexico News Network's breaking news, broadcasting from the beautiful heart of Riviera Maya in El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma. Remember, this is a gourmet, inclusive, adults-only resort, and it's simply beautiful. Now, before we start, remember that Mexico News Network is your #1 source of positive as well as relevant information on Mexico. Ergo, follow us on social networks on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google+, and don't forget to browse through our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. Now, let's begin with today's main headline stories. In recent years, many American manufacturers have chosen Mexico as their ideal partner to establish their production plants, as it offers several benefits as well as opportunities that increase the value of the end product. Some of the industries that have favored Mexico as a business partner are the automotive, the aerospace, as well as clean energy sectors. As stated by Kevin Brooks, CMO of procurement firm Evalua and contributor for EBN Online, these are some of the reasons for nearshoring in Mexico if your company is based in the U.S. Number 1, transportation costs. The proximity of the United States to Mexico comes as a great benefit, as it most likely helps reduce transportation costs. This also influences time reduction. Another great benefit is time reduction itself. Keeping in mind that the pressure for the products to reach customers faster, the distance between Mexico and the US is quite accommodating. It also reduces the chances of disruption in the supply chain. Another excellent benefit is growing local market. By shifting business to another country, it increases the local market and also brings in benefits to the surrounding areas by creating jobs as well as raising property values. Even though nearshoring can provide large benefits, there are challenges to be considered. Language as well as cultural barriers, regulatory restrictions, finding suppliers and entering an unfamiliar market are quite a few, to mention some. However, Mexico also features benefits that counteract these challenges, balancing the scale and bringing up some pros over the cons. Some of these include Mexico's geographic location between North and South America, as well as its proximity to the Asia-Pacific market, and also the 45 free trade agreements that it holds with different countries and a very specialized workforce. Now, just a few reasons why Mexico has been chosen by many U.S. companies as their strategic partner to move their businesses outside of their country of origin. In more news, fashion designer Adriana Pavon has created a line of accessories inspired by the great Frida Kahlo, through which she seeks to support the indigenous people of Mexico while also rescuing its important tradition of textile culture. Mexico is a country rich in culture as well as traditions. However, globalization and the emergence of large companies has eroded some of the many traditions that exist, reducing them to a certain geographical area of the Republic. Fashion designer Adriana Pavon realized this and decided to create a product to support Mexico's indigenous and also raise awareness while doing so, mainly in Mexico and the US, of their textile culture. This led to the foundation of the Mexico Cultural and Pride Initiative, which is dedicated to creating fashion accessories as well as jobs for several indigenous communities in Mexico, beginning with the people of Oaxaca. The purpose of this project is to preserve cultural traditions and colorful textiles that highlight parts of the country, provide education, and also encourage fair trade and a traveling exhibition with it. Recently, the organization was seeking financial support through Kickstarter and conducted an exhibition in various cities in the United States. In the promotional video, Pavon talks about how the exhibition allowed visitors to learn about Oaxaca's wonderful culture through a virtual tour. The exhibit, Through Frida's Eyes, was actually inspired by the late Mexican painter Frida Kahlo. Currently, Pavon is working with Nahuatl weavers from Teotitlan, embroiderers and sewers from Tehuantepec, a place which is considered the center of the Zapotec culture and is known for women's traditional dresses, the same kind used by Frida Kahlo. According to a press release, Pavón was actually inspired to create this product line when she realized that the techniques and ecological materials used by locals were on the verge of extinction. All of this due to the globalization of textiles that are toxic to the environment and European designers who are plagiarizing the cultural. To learn more about the initiative, don't forget to visit their website on www.mexicoculturayorgullo.com. In more information, Mexico City has plenty of cultural venues such as theaters, museums, concert halls, among many other attractions. However, there is one in particular that is very little known despite being in one of the city's most visited buildings. Between the Francisco y Madero Avenue and the Lázaro Cárdenas Eje Central, very near to Mexico City's historical center, stands the Torre Latinoamericana, a 204-meter high skyscraper with 44 floors. Now, in this emblematic building, on the 31st floor, there is a forum known by very few, where plays are actually presented. The group is led by psychologist Ilia O. Popescu, an actress renowned throughout the city. She is a former member of the Rejatabla company in Caracas, Venezuela, and is the director of Psychological Realism Acting Laboratory. She holds a postgraduate diploma in acting education at Moscow's Gerasimov Institute of Cinematography. Now, the purpose of the project's location is actually to create an intimate space, a type of theater that does not feel like a theater. Each show has up to 20 people, and spectators are so close to the actors that Popescu, in an interview with Mexican monthly Chilangos Pavel M. Gaona, referred to them as voyeurs. Recently, the company presented Forest, an adaptation of a text written almost 200 years ago by Russian physician and playwright Anton Chekhov, which features Mexican characters as well as situations. The season concluded on August the 2nd. The entrance to these shows was free of charge. However, if viewers wish to make a donation at the end of the show, the support is of course very much welcome. The actors actually stated during the interview that they work so close to people that it helps them to create a stronger link, something that they are very grateful for. Now, to learn more about the work of the group and its upcoming projects, you may follow them on their Facebook page called Laboratorio Actoral Realismo. In more news, beneath the streets of Mexico City's historical center, there are the remains of the ancient Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan. Hidden under a basement on 24 Guatemala Street, just behind the sanctum of the Metropolitan Cathedral, a team of archaeologists as well as researchers made the discovery of an unusual rectangular platform which was identified as the Great Zompantli of Mexico, Tenochtitlan. Zompantli were altars of sorts, built by the pre-Columbian people of Mexico, which used to have a stone base decorated with skulls carved in a stone. They were also characterized by wood racks to exhibit the actual skulls of sacrificial victims, most of them from rivals. Now, during excavations, a platform with a height of 45 centimeters and at least 13 meters long and 6 meters wide was found. There are also traces of the holes where the skulls were inserted originally. Now, the bones correspond mostly to young adult men. However, the remains of women and children were also identified. Even though many of the skulls were removed during the conquest, emeritus researcher at the Institute of Anthropology and History, Eduardo Matos Moctezuma, stated during the announcement made on Friday that the important thing is that we have the precise location of the temple of Ecatl, the ball court, and in particular the Zompantli, cited in historical sources by the conquerors as Hernán Cortés, Bernal Díaz del Castillo, and Andrés de Tapia. It's an indicator the close relationship between these buildings and the Templo Mayor. Now, the first investigations confirmed that the Aztecs made orifices 25 or 30 centimeters in diameter on the skulls in the parietal areas, with a separation of 60 to 80 centimeters between one another. The skulls were fastened to the rack with a mortar made with a mixture of lime, sand, as well as volcanic rock. Matos Moctezuma explained that this structure had a specific symbolism, and many of these skulls could be enemies of Aztecs who were captured, killed, as well as beheaded, as a warning of their power. Through the continuous exploration work of the program of urban archaeology on the building, the goal is that in the future the site can be open to the entire public. Now please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more information on Mexico and the world after these few messages.
Audio Jungle.